My name is Emily, and I'm a housewife. I live in a two-family home with my in-laws. I met my husband, Jake, when we were in college, and we dated for 5 years before getting married. For the first 2 years of our marriage, we lived in an apartment. But then Jake's parents strongly suggested we build a two-family house so we could live close to each other. I had met my in-laws many times while dating Jake, and they were always kind to me. So when they suggested the idea, I agreed without hesitation. Our house has two separate entrances, so we have our own space, but we're still close enough to help each other if needed. Since my own parents live far away, I actually felt thankful to have my in-laws nearby. For the first 6 months after moving in, everything seemed fine, just as I had expected. But then, one day, I broke out in hives all over my body. At first, it was just a mild reaction. It happened when we went out for dinner with my in-laws. We chose a Thai restaurant, and since my mother-in-law, Linda, and I arrived early, we started looking at the menu. Linda wanted to order a dish with cilantro, so I casually mentioned, "Linda, Jake doesn't like cilantro. Let's ask them to leave it out." That was it. Linda froze and stared at me. "What? What did you just say? Are you trying to tell me that you know Jake better than I do?" "What?" I had never seen her act this way before. For a moment, time seemed to stop. I still remember how her face, which had always been kind, twisted into something completely different. A few minutes later, my father-in-law and Jake arrived, and the rest of the dinner went by smoothly, as if nothing had happened. But from that day on, Linda started harassing me. I knew she loved her son, but I never imagined she would take it this far. Luckily, Jake wasn't the type to be overly attached to his mom. That was the only thing keeping me sane. Ding dong. Every morning at 10 a.m., right after Jake left for work, Linda would show up at my door just to pick on me. "Oh, what a lovely day. But you haven't done the laundry yet? Such a lazy wife." At first, she just criticized my housekeeping. I didn't expect her to come every single day, so I forced a smile and tried to ignore her. But as time passed, her words became crueler. "Hey, when are you getting divorced? A useless wife like you makes everyone miserable. Jake's only mistake in life was marrying you." I had to resist the urge to grab the nearest heavy book and shut her up with it. I tried to stay calm, forcing a smile while she insulted me for hours until she finally left. But when she saw I wasn't reacting, she changed her strategy. She started acting overly sweet whenever Jake was around, talking to him in a high-pitched, childish voice that gave me goosebumps. Her insults also became worse. "I feel so bad for Jakey, having to eat this awful food. Jakey leaves early every morning because he wants to get away from you." Before I knew it, she had started calling him Jakey. "That's not what you should feel bad about, lady, but whatever." She really needed to shut up. I hated conflict, so I tried to avoid her. I started going out when she came over, but then she wouldn't stop calling me. And when I finally got back home, she'd be waiting outside yelling at me. I was getting exhausted. How long could I keep putting up with this? I knew I couldn't avoid this forever. I didn't want to tell Jake about it because I hated drama, but my body reacted. I broke out in hives. I thought about finally telling him, but Linda always turned back into the sweet, caring woman she used to be whenever he was around. What a monster. People call sly women foxes, but with Linda's body shape, a raccoon seemed more fitting. A monster raccoon. How was I supposed to explain this to Jake and his dad? Even if I told them the truth, would they believe me? I felt stuck. My father-in-law, Robert, had always been kind to me, and he and Linda were a close couple. If he found out what she was really like, it would crush him. Maybe it was better to just put up with a few hours of this monster raccoon's bullying every day. Maybe she'd get bored and stop eventually. One day, while I was thinking about all this, Jake had to go to a client dinner. He left his car at the office and took a cab home. Since he didn't have his car, his boss told him he could come in late the next morning. So for the first time in a while, we had a quiet morning together. Jake was always in a rush, so it was nice to sit down for breakfast with him. I even made something a little fancier than usual. Jake, being the social guy he was, kept me entertained with stories from the client dinner. After breakfast, he went to the bathroom. Ding dong. Linda was at the door. She must have assumed Jake had already left since his car wasn't outside. As soon as I opened the door, she unleashed her usual attack, her words flying at me like bullets. "There are leaves all over the front yard. Can you even clean properly? Go clean up the mess. What? It wasn't even that bad. Disgusting, just like you. Did you grow up in a pigsty? You're the worst. Oh my. I hesitated for a second. Should I tell her Jake was still home? Or should I let her expose herself? Linda noticed my hesitation, and it only encouraged her. What? Are you trying to talk back to me? She snapped. This was my chance. I took a deep breath and made my voice sound weak, like I was about to cry. Mother, please forgive me. I'll do my best, I said softly. That flipped a switch in her. What do you mean? I'll do my best? She sneered. You're doing nothing? You're useless, useless. And just like that, she dug her own grave. I tried to sound even more like I was about to cry. Oh, please don't, I begged, but inside, I was having way too much fun. Don't touch me, you filthy woman. How many times do I have to say I hate you? Can you believe that my precious Jake has to eat the disgusting meals you cook? Just divorce him already. I don't care if he marries a monkey or a pig, as long as it's not you. You call me filthy, but you're fine with your son marrying a pig. That makes no sense. I was doing everything I could to hold back my laughter, and then it happened. The sound of a toilet flushing. Linda froze. Her eyes widened in shock. No way. I dropped to the floor, covering my face because I was about to burst out laughing. Mom, what was that? Jake stepped out of the bathroom, his face dark with anger. Linda turned pale. Jake, why are you here? That's my question. What are you doing here? And what the hell were you just saying? No, Mom, I was just. But why are you here? I don't start work until later today. But more importantly, why are you saying such awful things to Emma? You always act like you two get along. What's going on? I was still sitting on the floor, sneaking glances at Jake. At that moment, he looked like a superhero. No, it's not what you think. I was just teaching her. She doesn't do her housework properly. Saying you hate her, telling her to divorce me, and calling her a pig, that's your way of teaching her how to clean. I heard everything, Mom. This isn't the first time, is it? Even if you're my mother, I can't forgive this. You set me up. Linda shrieked, grabbing my shoulders and trying to pull me up. Mother, stop it. If she saw my face now, she'd know I was laughing. Enough, just leave. Linda, who had just been scolded by her precious son, stormed out, sobbing. When I finally calmed down, I sat up and made my face look like I had been crying. Jake, my tears. I'm so sorry, he said. But honestly, I wasn't crying because I was sad. I had just been trying not to laugh too hard. I took a deep breath and finally told Jake everything. How Linda showed up every morning just to harass me. How my hives started small but got worse because of the stress. How my whole body was covered in them now. Jake's face fell. Emma, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize how bad it was. This stops today. You don't have to put up with her anymore. I'll handle it. She might come by again, so can you go out for the day? I don't want you to deal with her alone. His words made me tear up, real tears this time. I felt so lucky to have married him. At the same time, I couldn't believe a man this amazing came from a woman like Linda. A monster raccoon gave birth to a Pegasus, I muttered. That afternoon, I treated myself to a nice lunch and went to karaoke. For the first time in ages, I felt completely free. Meanwhile, Linda blew up my phone with calls and texts like some kind of possessed demon. I sent her a message back. I'll be forwarding all your texts and voicemails to Jake. Suddenly, the messages changed. The number of apologies tripled. I guess she had a lot of free time now. That night, after Jake got off work, we went out for dinner together. Let's talk to Mom and Dad about this, Jake said. Let's move out. I don't know how Dad will react, but if we sell the house now, we'll save a lot on the loan. I don't think you want to see them anymore, so I'll be the one to talk. I'm really sorry about everything. He was so kind that I almost felt guilty for my fake crying earlier. Then we went to my in-laws' house. The moment we arrived, Linda shot me a terrifying glare. I just smiled back at her sweetly. Jake listened to me. It was all a misunderstanding this morning. You know that, right? She said, scrambling to make excuses. Jake ignored her. Dad, can we talk for a minute? My father-in-law, Mark, looked confused but sat down at the dining table with Jake. As Jake explained everything, Mark's face went blank with disbelief. Meanwhile, Linda kept crying dramatically the entire time. "Emma, I want to apologize to you too," Mark said. "I'm really sorry. What Linda did was unforgivable. Bullying is something no adult should do. This is our responsibility as well." He sighed and turned to his wife. "You need to apologize properly." He made her bow her head. "I am sorry. I'm sorry." Linda sobbed, repeating the words over and over like some kind of curse. It was honestly a little creepy. "We're moving out," Mark suddenly announced. "I agree with selling the house. It's better if we keep our distance. I'll cover the remaining loan, so you two don't have to worry about money." Linda started wailing like a child. "No way. I promise I'll change. Don't leave me, Jake." "Enough," Mark snapped. "Do you think we have a choice? You did this to yourself." It was shocking to hear Mark yell. He and Jake were always so calm. I had never seen them this angry before. "Thank you, Dad," Jake said. "I'll take care of the paperwork and call you when it's done." "Thank you, Father," I added. After months of stress, everything was resolved in a single day. I was so exhausted that I went home and fell asleep immediately. For the first time in ages, I slept soundly, without worrying about the next morning. To avoid being alone at home, I stayed with a friend until we decided where to move. My hives, which had covered my entire body, disappeared the day after I stood up to Linda. It's amazing how much stress can affect the body. A week later, we signed a contract for an apartment near Jake's office. Now I feel like a newlywed again, and Jake and I are happier than ever. I still get a little anxious when the doorbell rings in the morning while I'm home alone. It's a lingering trauma, but I'm slowly recovering. I heard that Mark and Linda also moved into an apartment. Luckily, the house sold for a great price, and Mark was able to pay off the loan. Linda was depressed for a while and refused to do housework, but Mark scolded her until she got back to her chores. He also made her get a part-time job, saying they still had expenses to cover. I feel bad for her future coworkers. They're in for a rough time. Mark also refused to tell Linda where we live. That fact alone makes me feel safe. The other day, I saw Linda for the first time in months at my sister-in-law's wedding. She had lost a lot of weight. I tried to say hello, but as soon as she saw me, she got scared and ran away. I guess the timing of Jake being in the bathroom that day was truly a miracle. Now, my mornings are peaceful, the doorbell stays quiet, and I can finally relax. For the first time in a long time, I feel truly happy.